and welcome to this edition of the Time with Hime podcast. I'm your host, Lynn Cordish, joined by Superintendent Hime. It is a couple weeks before the first day of school.
You know, time goes fast, and you really can't keep up with, and the summers always go by so fast for everybody except for parents who have their kids go at home. But if you step outside this afternoon, you'll know it's late July, early August, and it's about time for school to start because it's been hot this week.
It's a cooker out there, so I hope you guys are hydrating.
You know, one thing about that we hadn't really mentioned or talked about, as you know, I'm on the OSSA board of directors, and one thing it looks like they're going to pass is a new guidelines for heat and start using wet bulb indicators. I know they gave schools wet bulbs a couple of years ago to however you I'm learning more about this. I know the military uses wet bulb, but I think it is a better safety indicator. So it's one thing we're going to talk about because it is extremely hot, and practicing in, 110 degree heat where heat factor is just not safe for kids. So hopefully we work hard and we can work around it, and hopefully the heat breaks soon.
Well, I know because I see them outside. Our kids are getting here early because
Yes.
I'm here pretty early in the morning, and then a few minutes later I can hear kids trickling in. So it is happening. Band's already
I saw band market. It's crazy. School's starting. That's just all there is to it.
2 more weeks, family.
You have two more
weeks. So we got a lot to talk about.
First of all, cell phone policy. Just to clear it up, when these discussions have been out there of how that all came about and what it is. Well, as we know, the legislators, the governor's office in their speech before their opening speech, whatever the state of the state speech, they talked about cell phones and the problem they're becoming in schools. Well, then we had a legislator, a senator from Claremore, wrote a bill, and it became a law. There were 2 laws going through, one from the House, one from the Senate. The House bill had a little bit of freedom for the schools, local control. The Senate bill doesn't. The bill clearly states a school must have a policy banning the use of cell phones from bell to bell, and that's meaning from the start of the day to the end of the day. No questions. I mean, it's supposed to be pretty cut and dry. There'll be some school districts that'll get into the gray area. We're too large, too many sites, too many things going on. We're not going to get into their huddle and how other school districts decide to handle the cell phone policy. From my seat, the administrators and the teachers we talk to, our district passed the policy. Now, how do we enforce it becomes a local control issue. It's like, okay, you guys passed a law that we have to have a law, but you really didn't do it, but you didn't put any the enforcement. So we're going to do it with the Yonder bags. Pretty simple. We bought Yonder bags. If you want to bring a cell phone to school, grade 6 through 12, you're going to have to purchase a Yonder bag. It's a locked bag. You don't have to put your watch and anything in there. You get caught using your watch as a device or anything else, the watch is going to start going in there. We didn't feel like right off the bat because my watch is my watch. I don't text off of it or anything, but it's my watch. Plus, it won't hook up to the phone when the phone's in the bag. Getting kind of detailed. We understand, because I see different posts out there that, well, it's not a law. The law is we pass the policy. And if we pass the policy, we have to find a way to enforce it and consistently across the community. And that includes 6, 7, 8 buildings that this will be, 6 buildings, 3 middle schools, 3 high schools, but you put in Douglas and LRC, we have 8 different places that this will be enforced in.
And that's the bags that'll be enforced.
Yes.
The policy is pre-K through.
And our pre-K through 5, if they bring that phone, it's got to stay off and in their backpack.
Correct.
And then never gets out, it's going to be, nobody's ever going to see it, so we don't know it's there. I mean, and so the simplicity is, student buy the Yonder bag, $35. They'll have to pay their insurance for their devices. We've done that for 5 or 6, 7 years, charged device insurance. And that just, if you break your device or it lost or whatever, it's covered with our insurance as long as it's not intentional damage.
Well, and the one thing that we did and we'll go back into the Faradays, but for the insurance, the freshmen, the $25 every year, the seniors get to take them.
They get to take through, if you pay your insurance all the way through and take care of the device, when you graduate, you get to keep the device. That's
if you paid your insurance.
If you paid your insurance all the years. Now, the Faraday bag, the beauty of that is, yes, this year it's $35. You're going to buy one. You'll have to buy 2. So to speak, if somebody but you got one that's going to be a junior, 2 years. You've got one that's going to be a 7th grader, 8th grader, 7th.
7th, and she'll get to have it.
She can use that bag for 5 years, all the way through. 6 years. She can use the bag as long as you take care of it. It's your bag to take care of. The reason we didn't buy the bags and provide them is, 1, people would take them that don't need them. 2, it's just something else for us to inventory and keep up with. But the biggest one was in what we read in research, people are doing this all over the nation. When you buy the bags, the pins break. It seems like the bags tear up really bad when you buy them, because if the pen breaks or it quits working right, then you just blame the school and say, I need another bag. That's just what happens. Now it's your bag. So as a parent, if your child breaks the pin off and it won't lock, now they're in trouble because they don't have a locked bag and you've got to buy another bag. So we'll have parents helping us enforce, keep taking care of the bags.
And it will be a little different because
First few days
we're going to work through it, just like our IDs. It's required to wear your student ID. So
yes,
be patient with everybody.
But even like IDs, we're pretty, if you think about IDs, at the beginning, those become a very difficult thing for teachers to enforce. Some teachers see them, some don't. And it's just a deal that's the consistency. These bags make it easier for teachers. And that's who we talk to when we talk to our superintendent's teacher advisory committee, a couple of those and different people, is the consistency of you see somebody with a phone, you send them to the office. No questions asked. I mean,
they're not monitoring how many warnings, how many times.
Yeah.
So go ahead and just let's put it out there because we did it on the last podcast.
Yeah. For those of us who grew up playing board games and Monopoly, if you hit that one space where you draw the card, it says go directly to jail, don't pass go. That's the way it's going to be. First offense, you're going to office 5 days of ISD. Second offense, we'll talk about it, because it's going to be at least 5 days ISD, maybe more, depends on how far they're apart, the reasoning. Now, each building's going to have, your daughter shows up, oh crap, I forgot my bag and my phone's in there. She's going to show it. They're going to have either a way where she can call you and you can come up there and bring her bag, or a bag she can put it in that day. They'll have some way to handle that, because that can be an accident. If one-time accident, the third or fourth time you do it, you just got to say, look, you can't bring your phone anymore. If you bring your phone without a bag, you're going to ISD. This is not you don't have to have a cell phone at school. Believe it or not, I went to school without cell phones, and so did most of our parents. We understand that if your kid walks to and from school, it's great to have to track them. We want the kids to have their cell phones. If you as a parent want your child to have a cell phone, just understand the policy is based upon the law, no cell phones used, period, bell to bell. That's 7:25 to 2:30 at the high schools. That's 8 to 3 or 7:55 to 3:05 at the middle schools. And these schools have them, and they unlock, their school's bigger than ours.
We actually have the Yonder people here
today doing training.
They're doing the training and walking in our buildings, and we'll have the
way they unlock them.
Unlocker.
They say that you can unlock them. It's fast. It's not a problem. If your child needs to use their phone to call you or contact you, they can go to the office and use that phone. Or if they need to, the office can unlock the phone there. They can take out the phone, call you, put it back in, lock it, and we're on our way. Right. We're not saying kids can't call their parents, but when I went to school, we didn't even have a phone in every room. There was 2 or 3 phones in the whole building. So, point being, we're going to get through this and it'll be great. And most people do believe, and most schools has done that. Once it gets settled, it does improve the engagement because students are less distracted. The distraction of the cell phone does go away.
Well, it's just too easy. You hear that ping and you want to.
And I know it's tough. It's different. And I know some parents, and we know that if I was in high school, I would be not the happiest person in the world, because my cell phone, it really has become an addiction to a lot of people. We even talk about it as adults. I mean, I talk about, I go into my meetings a lot without my cell phone, and I talk about how I come into these meetings without cell phones with my leadership team. But I'm going to tell you right now, I talk about how that's what I do to stay off of it, but we still have leaders that get on their phone while they're in the meeting and they don't leave theirs in their office. It's like, well, wait a minute, if the superintendent, he didn't make a directive, but if he's saying he's leaving his phone in the office instead of bringing it with him, why do I bring my phone? Well, because I just can't leave it. It's a part of me, and it is difficult. And so just so we understand, we understand this is going to be tough on some of our students, tough on some of our parents, because some of our parents call and text their kids all day long. But we're going to get through it.
That's it.
Next thing, Sylogist. Let's move on to another one.
Sylogist is our student information system, and we've had some confusion with sending out some stuff. And so 1, I'm going to apologize for that. But 2, we're working through it. They are replacing Infinite Campus for us. And so Guardian Portal and all of these things that we were wanting, we want you to stop if you're a returning LPS family. If your students are already getting schedules, you'll see that connecting more. And we have another platform that we're going to help make it easy. But Don't try to sign up for a Guardian Portal if you are an existing LPS. Your student was here last year. We've got that taken care of. Now let's talk about what it looks like, because schedules are coming out, and that means check-in.
Check-in's coming up.
August 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Check-in across the district, August 4th, 5th, and 6th. I know they're doing some at night, so get online and look. If you don't know and you can't find it, info@lawtonps.org. info@lawtonps.org. Send your questions. We talk about that a lot. Anything you have, if you got questions about the cell phone policy or whatever, send them. We'll either answer them or somebody will send you the email. Granted, I understand we have some people that aren't real happy with the cell phone policy. I was not happy when it came out because the original one was going to give local control. This one gave no local control. And I know some districts are handling it different. But from my seat, we're in charge of 14,000 students. We're going to enforce the law as the law was intended. Case closed.
There you go. Now we have check-in, we have practices, we have, let's do a reminder, because although you have to pay insurance and you have to pay the yonder if you get a bag, we do have something for our families that they don't have to pay for, which is the lunch and breakfast.
Yes. You know, we started that when I first came here. Everybody ate free for the first couple, 2-3 years. And then it was just breakfast. And now we're back. This is our second year where it's all free. And we have snacks and dinner at some sites.
Yes.
We have different foods, but everything's free as far as food's going. So I encourage everybody to go through the line, even if you just get an apple, an orange, a banana, a juice, a milk. Go through the line, get a tray, give somebody else your food, and we talk about that. And if your kids come home and say they made me go through the line, guys, the first few weeks of school, it'll be a procedural thing. As a procedure, they're going to walk kids through the line just to make sure everybody knows how to go through the line and get a tray, the fact it's free, and make sure they get the right meal and know how to punch in their code and such. Because if they forget their lunch or whatever, they can now go through. Or if there's something good they want, because sometimes the pizza's good. I don't care. Everybody eats the pizza. The nachos are nachos. I mean, so as far as kids go, there's food. And one thing we're talking about, if everybody will go through the line and get a tray, and we'll start talking about what we're having, we're hoping some of our student councils and different groups will start talking about what food they want in the lunchroom, what they want to eat that's cooked. And then obviously we got guidelines we got to follow and such that the lunch people have to follow. But there should be a little bit of flexibility there, and hopefully we can poll our students and say, okay, what do we eat the most? What do we not eat?
Well, our student leaders last year asked for a seasoning bar.
Yes.
So they started adding
seasonings,
different types of seasonings.
Yep. And we really appreciate our student leaders, because there's a lot of things they've got done for us.
That's it. And then with the forms, remind them why it's so important, because we will send a text message in the next few days before check-in for you guys. It's email, text, and then we'll have it online to fill out the check-in forms.
So the forms, now that everybody eats free, we have trouble getting the forms back on your income level. If you're at a certain income level, we get state aid for that. And that's how we, give
do a lot of different
teacher bonuses, build safety things around the schools. It's how we pay our police officers. A lot of the money we get there, that's a huge part of our budget. And we kind of lost money last year because we didn't collect as many forms. I don't say we lost money. We didn't get as much money as we usually do because we didn't collect as many forms, because some parents said, well, they already eat free. They don't need this information. Guys, we need all that information. That every form we collect on you the first 2 or 3 weeks is tied to funding.
Right.
And so please fill those out. And if you filled one out and we sent you another one, just fill it out again and send it back with your student, please, because a lot of it is getting it through. And when you're collecting 14,000 forms, sometimes the process it's not perfect. So just work with us first couple of weeks, fill out all that paperwork. And again, know that if your income level, if you meet a low threshold of income, we get state aid for that.
Well, and then there's other resources that we provide,
Grants, a lot of the grants we get are based on that.
Student services,
a lot of things come off of that form. Any grant we get, they use our free and reduced lunch. So please fill those out.
Anything else you want to share? Lots of action. We opened up, we did our ribbon cutting.
Yes, all 3 locker rooms.
That's it.
And all of our girls should have locker rooms, and hopefully that's going well. And as far as I know, students are in all 3 of them. And so we're excited about that.
We're starting to clear out for the turf, the visitor side.
Yes.
Because the football games, we mentioned that.
Yep.
We did some soccer last year, and it was extremely fun.
And we've ordered bleachers.
That's it.
750 seat bleachers for the visitors, so we'll have a full stadium. It will not be a giant 6A, 5A stadium, but it'll be big enough for a few of our games. So hopefully the plan is that each of our 3 high schools will play a game or 2 on their own field. So it's kind of neat to think Lawton High has been there. Lawton High has been in Lawton for over 100 years, and they've never played a home site football game. Every football game they've always played has been off site, whether it was at
Cameron,
Ron
Stevens
Stevens Stadium or at Cameron. Every game has always been off site. Now they're actually going to get to play an on site football game. And you know, obviously Mac and Ike are both 50 years old and never, you know, they're both over 50 years and never played an on-site home football game varsity-wise. So we're really excited about that. Just student attitude. It'll be a student game. Your student attendance will go up, and just the whole camaraderie of getting to play at your place is kind of exciting.
It's electrifying. I witnessed that last
Soccer,
year.
it was huge. We won 2 big playoff games on that field last year in soccer. Girls got to the state finals, and a lot of people told me that are tied to that getting to play on that field was a difference for those 2 overtime shootout wins.
And it was crazy. So thank you guys for everything.
Yes.
And then one reminder for our families, because it has come in through info and on our social, if you don't make it through the check-in days, you can go up to the school any time after those dates. Just can't come up this week because we're not ready for everybody. Yep. But it's happening this time.
It's here.
Woo, 25, 26.
August is here Friday.
I know.
25, 26. I told everybody it's my 40th year in education.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, that's a big
Congratulations.
deal. Yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations. We're gonna
I think I'm getting old.
That's it. All right, Mr. Hime, anything else?
Nope. Thank you guys, and we look forward. Again, use the info. Go to our lawtonps.org webpage. Send us questions, and we'll try to get them answered.
Yes, sir. And then we'll be back for our regular podcast when the school year starts. Unless
Yes.
you have anything else we want to share.
Nope. Well, we will be.
All right. You guys be well, stay safe, make positive impacts, and we'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.